In Rust, the weather can make such an impact on your wipe. You can spend your whole first day in a foggy, rainy and low visibility world. You can go from the beach to an established home before realising the surroundings you now find yourself in. Before we get off the beach, today's video has been sponsored by Collateral Servers. I really am grateful for the Collateral team for supporting the channel, and with great servers, active staff and a growing community, be sure to check them out if you're looking for a new server. A link to their Discord will be in the description below. An early morning start and a new wipe. I got myself off the beach and headed north while the server plunged into darkness, fog and eventually rain. I found myself in a wooded area that was rich with nodes, and with an ample supply of wood, I set up home here. A small ledge on the edge of this cliff would be perfect for my small solo 2x1. With the starter down, I farmed about the woods with the fog still lingering, placing down furnaces and getting some metal cooking. The neighbourhood was quiet for now, and I even happened to be next to a base when it began decaying. god. Actually shit in there. Oh my god. There's 1,000 scrap. What is going on? Holy shit. That's actually massive. This huge find was surprising, but it also immediately provided me with a tier 1, tier 2 and metal tools, straight after getting my base down. This was sure to speed up my wipe dramatically. After crafting the tools and with a new energy to farm more efficiently, I stepped out of my base and saw, now the fog had lifted, how beautiful the spot I'd built my home was. This enormous lake spanned the entire render distance and incorporated 2 biomes. With the sun shining and materials in abundance, I bolt out my starter with an airlock, roof access and honeycomb. Now fully established with a base down, it was time to get some weapons in my boxes. I can't help but check the map, and having seen a bunch of guns for sulfur, it was back to more farming, but this time the yellow ones. It didn't take long to get enough sulfur and scrap together to buy a horse and head to Outpost to buy Tommies and an MP5. The semis weren't in stock, but were available for 2 computers, something I'll come back to getting later. Having managed to stay completely under the radar up to now, I decided to head to the lock crate that was currently at the nearest monument to me, Trainyard. fuck? I really had whiffed it, both in terms of my spray on the final guy and in my lack of bullets. Even my last ditch effort to grab some bullets off their teammate hadn't worked. I was gutted about losing what could have been a quick come up and big for my wipe. I was also now fighting some pretty bad lag, and while I farmed the area to calm down, the lag was unbearable. Using the lag as an opportunity, I headed to an aim train server to practice my Tommy spray before coming back. Now back on the server with my foundations for the wipe set, and currently down a Tommy, it was time to get some components and gun parts with a bit of scrap farming. After a decent trip farming to power and another run up to mining outpost, I had now acquired 2 computers, enough for the semi I wanted earlier. While leaving outpost, I noticed a turret shooting at something. When I looked, I could see that someone was over there hiding behind a metal node. I couldn't work out if he was the one that had been shot, and at the time just assumed he was waiting to stop being hostile before entering outpost. However, while I pretended to be idle, he for some weird reason stayed geared up, and with an attack heli clearly coming. This additional find next to his body hadn't helped me work out what was going on, but I was now a Revy and a Thompson Witcher. Hey, if someone buys me 6 pickles, I'll give them 10 scrap.
Hey, about this? Go fuck yourself, twat.
Dude, relax, man. I was just chilling.
Sorry.
Yeah, man, that was mental.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Nah, it's alright,
I see
mate.
British people, I don't know how to.
Nah, it's alright. It's just, you know, I don't want to get off the horse to buy pickles for it. You know, I was trying to give someone a deal if they're gambling. I was just being nice, you know. But yeah, see you later.
Wait!
My cooking of delicious bear meat and use of a horse had clearly attracted the attention of somebody nearby, and without me realising, a door camper had taken up an angle on my front door. Fortunately he was alone and I was able to loot and depot his kit. I did this quickly before leaving my base again, in fear of being permanently trapped inside by aggressive door camping. Really not wanting to find out if he had teammates and currently with chores to do, I simply got on my horse and dipped off to farm. When it came time to return back to my base, I made sure to stick to the road and keep up momentum as I went by. He's definitely going to be by my door. Sure enough, there he was, stood on top of my roof awaiting my return. Having gone through this delightful process of having a base mounted by strangers, I knew the only surefire way to get back into my base in one piece was to wait them out. I hung about ranch and took a break on my horse, letting the campers get bored. Another crate had spawned at Trainyard, and this time I knew I was likely to be one of the first ones there, so I headed over. The same guy that was door camping my base. Instead, now in a team, using their numbers, they had pushed me quickly while also taking on the scientist I'd carefully avoided. I had a vague idea of where they could be living, and due to not wanting to approach a group with the Trainyard high ground advantage, I chose to post up what I thought was a logical route home for them. Unfortunately, the only person that ended up running past was a weirdly kinda loaded naked, which led to one of the quietest fights I've ever had. I couldn't stop thinking about this group that were active in my area. They were partial to door camping and now knew that I was actively looking to take lock crates. The paranoia set in and I farmed up enough scrap to be wasteful and then learned the entire tech tree to garage door, hoping to lock down my base further. With the base now secure, my plan was to go on the offensive and find out where these guys lived. I had a couple of bases in mind and went out in the surrounding areas to probe the bases and engage with people to see what direction the gear team would come from. A Tommy fight, this had to be them. Somehow I'd only managed to get a hazmat wear and bow kit, and now I'd given myself away to the actual guys with Tommies. I decided I'd get back home and sneak back over to the area with topped up supplies. Having seen a guy wearing black in the Tommy fight, and now with this guy running across the field, I was certain it was them, and made it seem like I was heading to mining outpost. Again, this wasn't them, and I was back to square one on the hunt. When another lock crate landed at Trainyard, the only monument it seemed to land at, I headed over and sure enough, the same group were back. With numbers on their sides and loads of high ground, there was little chance of me getting into the heart of the monument, and while I waited in a hopeful position for them to run by once more, they never came my way. This also ruined my hunch about where these guys lived, so the hunt continued. Fucking hell. I won't lie, I didn't think this weird base was them to begin with, but I had to be sure. I ended up going full circle back to where I'd seen these guys out in the open earlier. But having drawn more blanks, it was time to take a break from roaming and searching. To waste some time, I committed to a big swim in the hopes of countering a raid. A mutually weird choice of base design and raid target. The night was now getting late, and after coming across this guy at ranch, I was starting to feel like I was becoming the bully and was absolutely no closer to my enemy group story arc.
You're a fucking bitch.
So at this point, I headed home. If you enjoyed this video, consider hanging around. I have other wipe content that I'd love for you to watch. Drop a sub if you haven't already, and like the video to help others see it too. Thanks so much for watching.